What's going on, everybody? It's the Bearded One back with another beer review. I'm going to try to project a little bit. I've been noticing in some of my videos, maybe all of my videos, that I'm talking a little low. So maybe I can project a little bit to be a little louder for you when you're watching a video and not wake up my son who's asleep right now. Today, we are going to get into a special brewery. To me, they're right down the road. In bad traffic, it would take me 7-8 minutes to get there. Actually, if you've seen this cup before, this glass, it is XEO Brewing, Cross-Eyed Owl Brewing, from Decatur, Alabama, my hometown. Again, special brewery to me. They don't have widespread distribution, so you probably never drank them unless you're from Decatur or the surrounding area. I don't know if they have great distribution outside of Decatur. They don't have the greatest capacity, should I say. I don't even know how many barrels they make a day or how many batches they make a day. It's just when you walk into the Cross-Eyed, it's just this beautiful bar area where you can get your beer on tap and you can see their menu. And then to the left, if you're facing the bar, would be like a little game area with foosball and darts. And then to the right is you'll see the entire brewery. I mean, it's not a very big brewery at all. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you how big it is, but it's just them in their little tap room, and they're churning out good beers, in my opinion. I think they're better than some of the beers I've had in the area, and we have, on a statewide scale, I would say some reputable breweries. I don't know how reputable Alabama beer is outside of the state. I'll just leave that up to you guys, you out-of-state people who might be watching this. Alright, diatribe aside, let's get into the beer. We're doing XEO's Sommerweizen. Now, summer, this is German for summer wheat. And I know it's not summer anymore. I'm recording this in October. But it's the last beer I had in my 6-pack. I think it was just, it was actually the last 6-pack I found at my favorite craft beer store. Had to try it. I've had a lot of beer from these guys. In fact, I've had this beer, and I love their beer, and it's not a bias. I feel like I genuinely care and like the products. So, what is a Sommerweizen? Well, that's actually not a beer. That's just what they call their Crystalweisen. It's a Crystalweisen beer, as a matter of fact, and a Crystalweisen is basically a filtered German wheat, Hefeweizen, not a German wheat beer, Hefeweizen. Still a German wheat beer, but just getting more specific, it's basically a filtered German Hefeweizen. So plenty of action here, plenty of bubbles. They don't dance around all day, but they're there. Because we that banana and clove. Again, it's just a filtered Hefeweizen. So if you've had a Hefeweizen, you know what you're getting with a Crystalweisen. I think this beer is perfect for people who want to get into craft beer and import beer, because you get the staple clove and banana from the Hefeweizen, and then they filter it to give it a lager-like flavor. I don't know if Hefeweizens are lagers. Okay, it even says on the can it's a wheat ale. Okay, so they filter it, and that gives it like the cleanness of a lager, but it's still an ale. And I think that's just a beautiful hybrid when you can take an ale and make it lager-like for people that are newer to beer. Now, like expected in like a lager-like beer, there's no head anymore. In fact, it completely disappeared. I've had this in my fridge for a couple weeks, maybe even a month. The carbonation is still quite active. I mean, it's a pale straw, very pale yellow. I mean, SRM of 2, maybe even 4. very clear because of the filtering. Yeah, no cloudiness. I mean, there's a little cloudiness, but maybe that's because it's cold in my glass. I didn't really let this warm up to a specific serving temperature or anything. Let's get into the nose. So yeah, one thing that really makes me appreciate this brewery is that not only did they brew this to style, but there's no off flavors. And I've learned recently you can really tell the quality of a brewery by how their lagers are, because lagers are harder to produce. They have to be produced at colder temperatures, or excuse me, they ferment at colder temperatures, and they take longer to ferment as well. So they take time and energy and love and care. And even though this is still an ale, there's no off flavors that you typically find in lagers that I would expect to be in here if there was something bad, like DMS or diacetyl, things of that nature. Those buttery, like those buttery like flavors that diacetyl really gives you. There's none of that here. Yeah, I get the banana and the clove that I get from a Hefeweizen. I get the wheat, and then, excuse me, I don't know what hops they use. This beer isn't even on their website anymore, so I don't have a lot of information. But one thing they do that's pretty cool on their cans, they have a scale on their cans that shows you the color, the bitterness, the sweetness, I believe. What else is on here? Hop aroma, hop flavor, malt body. And I'll just leave this right here in case anybody can't see it. And I really like that from them, because around here where I'm from, we don't have an established, very predominant beer culture. I feel like this area of the country is kind of behind when it comes to craft beer. And I think it's really cool that they can introduce people to styles of beer that they've probably never heard of, maybe even never tried. And they get a little scale to get a gauge on what they like and maybe what to expect when purchasing a beer from them. I think that's cool, and maybe more breweries should be doing this. As you see, they're an independent craft brewer, so they're not a corporate conglomerate or have been bought out by a corporate conglomerate. I really like that. One more time. So, much like the aroma, it's I don't want to say a delicate palate, but it's a lighter palate. The mouthfeel is pretty light due to the filtering, obviously. It's not lager light. It's definitely a little thicker than, say, a Bud Light. So it lets you know it's an ale still, but it's definitely been filtered. There's bubbles dancing around in this thing, but the prickliness is not there. I don't know why that would be, considering the bubbles dancing around in this thing. But this definitely isn't harsh on the tongue in terms of carbonation. The flavor is there. It's not delicate, but it's not smacking you in the face either. It's got the banana and the clove like a Hefeweizen, like you would expect in a Hefeweizen. You know, sometimes if I trick my brain, maybe I get like a green apple or a bubble gum. But when I just sit back and enjoy this beer, yeah, when I don't think about this beer, because I don't think this is a beer that's meant to be just examined like we're doing right now. I get the banana and the clove, and it's brewed to style. I feel like this beer could win awards. Honestly, I think this is an award-winning beer. Spoiler. But if I trick my brain and I really just sit on it, maybe I can taste the acetaldehyde, the green apple, or maybe some bubble gum. But again, I think that's just my brain trying to pick out off flavors as I'm studying and learning more about beer. So I'm going to say, you know, it was brewed to style. There's no off flavors. To me, I think that's just a mind trick this beer is playing on me. What would I rate this beer? I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of a 5. I believe that's what I gave it on Untapped. I'm glad I didn't go back and check again on my rating. So, yeah, definitely getting on up there into world class. Solid A beer. I think this beer, I think it's one of the perfect styles of beer in that you get that German Hefeweizen flavor that you don't get from a cream ale, but you get it filtered and that crisp, refreshing, light, clean finish. You know, that kind of drying, crisp, clean, refreshing finish that you get in filtered beers and lagers and pilsners sometimes. I think it's just a perfect blend of, you know, flavor and finish. And I think it fits into that lawnmower category. And I would definitely recommend this all day to rookies. I think beer rookies would love this. I think people that are wanting to take that next step out of lagers would love this. I think beer lovers that are working out in the yard on a hard day, don't want to drink a heavy porter or a stout, would go for this. I think if you have an appreciation for German imports, go for this. Now, again, I don't think you're going to be able to find XEO if you're not from North Alabama. Maybe if you live in South Alabama, they distribute down there, but I doubt it at this point in time. But just keep the style of beer in mind. If you're curious to try this beer, just look up Weihenstephaner, Craftysumbeertch, or Hofbrau, or who else is out there? Warsteiner, Spaten, maybe St. Bernardus has a Craftysumbeertch. I doubt it. Yeah, the ones the aforementioned German brewers, look for them. They should have a Craftysumbeertch, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get something similar to this. They'll be more the original style anyways that this is kind of appreciating. So until next time, guys, cheers.